make another video, folks. Last one for today, maybe. This video, Carl Kalinske, he proves it. And he's right. And you have the polling data that proves it. Like Trump and the Maga is not the one against Trump. They're still holding firm with him. They're standing up for Trump. And he proves that these guys, Maga, is a cult. Well, he hasn't proved. I guess we've been saying that, and others, and I have seen that. I believe that all along too, and others saying that they're a cult, but other people are TYTs saying that they're not. Or it's only about a few minority of them. 25% of them are cult, or I mean, maybe it's more than that. Yeah, I say 30, maybe 40%. 30%, but they're saying that they're saying that like it's tiny bit of the conservatives are like that. Like a lot of them are like that, and it's just I mean, you got to defeat the ideology. That's how you beat this. Defeat them. Defeat their argument. You're going to try and convince them. I mean, it's a cult. You're not going to try and convince them. You might, maybe 5% of them you could. And if you want to do election, it's not going to win you elections, but 5% of them. I mean, maybe you get independence. People who don't really follow politics, like are normies. That's what you have to get, and your base. But it's more than the voting anyways. It's actually more than voting. More than elections to defeat this ideology. But this fascist ideology is rooted in white supremacy. I mean, Christian nationalism, all in one. White supremacy and Christian nationalists, nationalists, all in one. So Carl has the poll. I'm gonna show you the poll. Carl, let's see what it is.
He's gone full fascist. He's gone full robber baron. I mean, this is like the worst thing I've ever seen. I didn't think it was possible to appear more evil than George W. Bush's time in office. But here we are. So, is the base now flipping? Is the base now holding him accountable? Well, let's find out.
So we're going to look at the strongly approved numbers. So this isn't just Republicans who like Donald Trump. This is Republicans
look at this,
who
folks.
love Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And he's up like a rocket. Look at this. In July 2017, the strongly approved was 53%. That's pretty good. But look at where he is now. 63%.
Oh my God.
Of Republicans strongly approve.
63% support all the terrible things he has done. Cut off their health care. I think this is before well, it doesn't matter. Is this before the health care? They cut off they passed the bill. Even that, it shouldn't be. This is after the war too. Even if the war, they're bomb. Well, they'd still be with him. It would probably be 40% or 50%. This now would be 50%. Actually, if they're bombing, if they're attacking Iran, it might be 50%. I mean, and the Democrats are like 20%. Independents, they're 40%. See, this 40%. There's another poll on TYT. And that poll is, see, 63%. So that poll is garbage then. It says 43% of 43%. There's a different poll about the war, maybe. Oh, that was an anti-war poll. He was 43% against wars, I guess. So this is in general. See, they're for Trump. You think there'll be all the stuff he's doing? You think this will be like 50, like 50%? 2017, look, 53%, and he hasn't done enough bad things. Maybe that's why. they like what he's doing now with the immigration. He didn't get to do his bad things. I mean, and he was stopped. But now he could see here. So that's why the bad things, he can do enough bad things. So that's why he didn't. There was this low. Now it's worse, and he's actually worse, and the numbers are higher. How do you explain that? I mean, ass kickers, and these grifters, these are influencers. We want to protect Maga. Oh, we should partner with Maga. Oh yeah. Should partnership with them. Oh yeah, we should go a populist left and take down the establishment. But Trump is the establishment. Dumbass.
The job that Donald Trump is doing about 5 months into his presidency. Republicans love Donald Trump the way that Americans love Disney World. The bottom line is 63%. That is a huge, huge base. And of course, it's just part of a Republican base in which about 90% of them overall approve of him, including the somewhat approves as well.
All right, so do you understand what he's saying there? He's saying Trump today, the number of Republicans in the base that, quote, strongly approve of Trump, that number is more than any politician's base has ever felt about the president of their party. So his base has gotten stronger. His base has gotten more into him. They love him more now than they ever have before. The totally unhinged Trump, the sadistic, malevolent, evil, fascist Trump. His base looks at that and they go, more of that. That's what we want. That's what we love.
See, this is a fascist party. Fascist right-wing, white supremacist party. Yeah. Then Jimmy Dore loves this. Jimmy Dore, he's a fascist too. He calls himself a leftist.
That base is rock solid. I've told you guys a million times, but the number is anywhere between 26% and 33% of the country is flat out in a Kool-Aid drinking fascist death cult.
Yeah.
And this validates that. This proves that. 63% strongly support him in his base more than any other president and their base. And over 90% at least somewhat approve of him. All right, we're not done.
Every politician would like this number here, especially to see it go up. How about compared to other presidents who were Republicans?
Yeah, it's history making. It's history making. What are we talking about here? So why don't we look back? We have all the presidents, Republican presidents, going back over the last 35, 36, 37 years. What are we talking about? GOP, who strongly approved 5 months in. Look at this. George H.W. Bush, Bush 41, 46%.
Wow,
Bush 43, 59. You see,
look, Bush 89. Everybody hated Bush. Was 41, 46%, below 50%, and this one was it 9/11 happened? This is just before. This is just before 9/11. His numbers went up after 9/11. See that? 53.9%. And he was in a. This is before the wars too. This is before the wars. He started the wars. And look, 53% as shown, and look, 63. You don't know.
See Trump, the first term, 53, but look at this, 63%. He beats all the other Republicans on the board here, and I was looking even back since Reagan, and get this, Donald Trump beats Ronald Reagan when it comes to the strongly approved 5 months, and of course...
Wow. Terrible Ronald Reagan. he beats Ronald Reagan. It wasn't well, it wasn't that terrible now. You look at it compared to Trump. Like Ronald Reagan's like Mother Teresa, or no, not Mother Teresa. I heard these bad things about her. Like an angel. Ronald Reagan's an angel compared to Trump.
Reagan was coming off that high after that assassination attempt.
The
Yeah.
worse he is, the more.
That's a great thing. That's a good thing. Assassination. He was assassinated. You think there'll be a lot of, well, there was a lot of sympathy, but even that, he gets higher. He's higher in the polls than after that than the assassination of Ronald Reagan. He has higher numbers than him. That's crazy.
they love him. This is why we call it the fascist death cult. This is why we say it is sadism. When he rounds up innocent people and sends them to CCOT, the concentration camp in El Salvador, no due process, no hearing, no habeas corpus, you don't get to talk to your wife or your family or your lawyer. We rounded you up, we put you on a plane that afternoon, and we send you to a place where you will never be let go. They look at that and they go, yes,
Yep.
more of that, please.
And that's what they wanted, folks.
They look at Trump saying we're going to send 30,000 people to Guantanamo Bay. They go, yes. They look at Alligator Alcatraz and they go, yes. A concentration camp in the middle of the Everglades swamp in South Florida where they're only under tents and that can get blown down by a hurricane at any moment. Even a strong thunderstorm can. We love it. More of that.
You can't say that like Biden's the same thing. He's doing the same thing. Well, he did the same thing as Trump. Oh yeah, sure they're bad. He did bad things, Mr. Biden. But Trump blows Biden away by a long shot in terms of bad things, like terrible. Like he didn't go against the law. I mean, Biden followed the law. I mean, even though he did bad things, like he did the loopholes in the law. I mean, I guess he's doing bad things at ICE. You had some bad things happen in ICE along when Biden was in office, but this is far worse. I mean, I think he stopped by and his immigration was stopped by he stopped by the courts. Like he adopted some of the Trump's immigration, the first term, and he stopped by the courts. He was stopped by he went by the law. I mean, he followed the law. He followed the law, and Trump's just ignoring the law, and that's it. He's far worse, folks. So you can't just say it's the same. You keep hearing that some of these I don't know, but some influencers, they're kind of grifters. I wonder if there are, and I mean, you wonder, I don't know, if they're grifters or because you have to tell the truth. You can't do a little both sidism. Tell the truth. It's not tell the real truth. What's worse? I mean, sure the Democrats are bad, but you have to tell the truth. What he's doing is far worse. That's the truth. I'm sorry. You're gonna do your both sidism, but I'm sorry, not the case.
Did you bomb Iran? Great. Did you bomb Yemen? Great. Did you bomb Somalia? Great. Did you have Elon Musk, the world's richest robber baron, loot the
He's not anti-war either.
treasury, steal everybody's data, destroy the regulatory state, destroy the administrative state? Did you just massively cut Medicaid and kick millions of people off healthcare? Wonderful. We love it and we love you because you're giving us the show. The show is the vibes.
Yep, this was after the cuts. So this was after the cuts, after the bill passed. This is after the bill was just passed, I think, in that poll, I think. So
Democrats are the baddies. They're the bad ones. We're the good ones. Whatever we do is good. Whatever they do is bad. And now I'll entertain you in the process. And they look at that and they go, yes, inject it straight into my veins. I love the show. I love the vibes. I'm here for it. I'm Team Trump. The fact that Trump is more beloved by his base, by the MAGA base, than Ronald Reagan was by his, says it all. Because Ronald Reagan, they deified
there's another
him.
poll.
They deified him. That man could do no wrong.
No, there's another poll in there. I'm going to show you something else. I think there's another poll. I thought they finished with the poll. Let's see. Or is it the same
He
shit?
is more beloved by this Republican base than Trump is making history.
The more he rounds up innocent people, yes, 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 is what they say.
So the bottom line is Donald Trump is making history with the Republican base. He is more beloved by this Republican base than any Republican base loved any GOP president 5 months in. It is history making.
It is a striking number. Tillis stepping aside after President Trump threatened to primary him. The question is, how effective is Trump's endorsement? We know it can hurt, but how effective is it?
Yeah, okay. So, the bottom line is if you're a Republican lawmaker, you see this 63%, you say, my goodness gracious, you do not want to go against Donald Trump because the Republican base is with Donald Trump. And it's not just the polling. We actually have the data to show that the Republican base is with Donald Trump. The times Trump endorsees won the GOP primary for governor and congressional races. Look at this. 2024, 96%. 2022, 95%. 2020, 98%.
See, if you go against him, he could primary you, and his opponents, that's what happens. 90, over 90% of the time. Now, whoever he endorses wins. But there are some cases that, there are a few cases that the person he went against him won. But in most cases, when he backs the other person, that person wins. So that's why they're scared to go against him.
Bottom line is this, 95% plus of the time, the Trump endorsed candidate wins in GOP primaries. And even in the cases where Donald Trump endorses a challenger to an incumbent, the majority of the time, that challenger wins.
Yep.
So Donald Trump is a winner in Republican primaries. You go against Donald Trump, to quote the movie Good Burger, you go in the grinder. Donald Trump is the key nugget. His endorsement is the key nugget in a GOP primary because he's historically, strongly popular with the GOP.
And now there's going to be a surprise primary in North Carolina, so we will be watching that, of course.
So if you wonder why, well, hold on. It's not like these Republican Congress people and Republican senators, it's not like they don't know what they're doing is wrong. It's not like they don't know the bills they're voting for are horrific. It's not like they don't know Trump's a ridiculous person who overreaches on a daily basis. They know all of that. This is why they don't push back. Because they know Trump could destroy my career with one tweet. They know Trump can destroy my career with one endorsement of my opponent in a primary. They know that. They know that. So that's why it's very rare, like Thomas Massey bucking Trump on the big beautiful bill and Rand Paul bucking Trump. First of all, they're libertarians. Massey is a libertarian first before he's MAGA, right? And libertarians have a streak of being more principled like Ron Paul in the past. But he knows by doing this, am I risking my career? Absolutely, I'm risking my career. Trump's already looking for a primary opponent to Thomas Massey. And look at these numbers, 98%, 95%, 96%. Now, maybe Massey ends up being one of the lucky ones. Every political era, there's some politicians who are just untouchable. Think of Bernie Sanders as an independent in Vermont. Think of, Ron Paul in the past in Texas. Every now and then, there's some politicians who really march to the beat of their own drum and they still end up winning. But that's rare. And so they know, oh my God, my life is it has now boiled down to defend dear leader at all costs, back dear leader at all costs. You think Murkowski doesn't know that she sold out the country by voting for the big beautiful bill? Of course she knows that. But this is the way the game is played. He will try to destroy you if you do the right thing. That's what's going to happen. And so what you see here is it's a cult. He has a stranglehold on not just the politicians, which he does, but he also has a stranglehold on the voters, on the MAGA base. Now, just to really put the finer point on it here, again, many people thought, well, look, once Trump starts doing things that are objectively bad, that cut in a non-populist direction, well, then the base will wake up. Well, what did he just do recently? Illegally and offensively bombed Iran, a country that didn't attack us, it wasn't going to attack us, and they weren't building a nuke, right?
Though there are some disagreements. But you're right. Most of the Maga support him, but although there's some disagreements. Then there's Elon Musk, but that's for a different reason. It's personal with him.
And look, prior to Trump bombing Iran, if you asked the Republican base, hey, would you support war with Iran? If you phrased it like that, it'd be 50% or less support war with Iran. If you phrased it like, would you support bombing Iranians' nuclear facilities? Then it's between like maybe 50 and 70% of the base says, yeah, we support that, right? So in theory, if they were going to break with Trump, when Trump did the illegal and offensive attack on the country that didn't attack us and wasn't building a nuke, that number would go down. And you would see fewer Republicans support the bombing of Iran, right? Well, what actually happened? Republicans overall, 85%.
Oh, U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. I'm not going to end with this, folks. Approve 85%, disapprove 15%. Look at Democrats. See? Compare this to independents and Democrats. Democrats 13% approve, 87% disapprove. Some would say that if Biden did this, it would have been the opposite. Maybe. I don't think it wouldn't be 85%. Maybe 50% would approve. But that's what they say, or these people, RBN, I mentioned their name. Okay, in the independents, 36% disapprove. That's a high number for disapprove. Approved, 64%. No, 36%. 36% approve, what am I saying? Then 64% disapprove. So there you go.
Supported the bombing, 85%. Ready for this? When you go specifically to MAGA Republicans and you ask them, so people who define themselves as I'm a MAGA Republican, I'm in Trump's base. That number.
Oh. Look at this. All Republicans, 85%. MAGA Republicans, 94%. Oh my God. Disapprove, 15%. Only 6%. That's crazy. What kind of poll is this? Is it a good poll? Is this a good poll, folks?
Becomes 94%. So it was before Trump bombed Iran, right? Depending on how you ask the question, yeah, about 50% of Republicans said, yeah, I'd support that, but half said no. Half said no. Now you could look at that and say, oh, that's a hopeful thing that maybe they'll stand strong on that, or maybe more people will swing against it. No. As soon as Trump did that illegal and offensive bombing on a country that didn't attack us and wasn't building a nuke, it went from 50% all the way up to 94% of the MAGA base.
And folks, that's I'm going to end on that, folks. So the Trump, so there's no way in hell the MAGA voters are going to go against Trump. I mean, he has to do something way worse than what he's doing now. So Cenk Uygur, so what he's doing, so Carl Kalinski's right. They had a debate against Cenk Uygur. Carl Kalinski is totally right. If you want to convince people, the independent voters, sure, you show the independent voters. Let me see this. Let me see this. These voters here, you gotta go after. If you want to include the independents and the leftists, I'm talking TYT now. You gotta do this. Go for the independents. Go for people. Go on influencers or non-political Oh, not MAGA, related. They're not liberals. Well, some are liberals, they're not really liberals. They're more independent. Go on their shows. I mean, we're not really Democrats. Sometimes they vote left. But don't go on MAGA shows. They're just wasting people's time. But these guys they'd really do that. But Carl's definitely right. We go to these people here, try to convince them about Trump, and they are already coming towards your side. So why not go to try and get those voters? Even Anna Kasparyan, she's saying that the MAGA, she's kind of now black pill against MAGA. She's saying, oh yeah, the independent voters. She's saying that the MAGA, she's kind of go against the MAGA now. Yep, she realized that's foolishness. Hope she does come back to the left. I doubt it. She's not. But I don't think she's gonna go full into them. She believes some of their policies. That's the thing, like homelessness and crime. So, anyways, folks, I'm gonna end this. So it's pointless to quote the MAGA voters. So this is my view on it. I think so they're falling back to Trump. So all this is a waste of, all this is nonsense, the arguments they talk about, TYT talks about. The fight between the right wing, oh yeah. No, it's bullshit. They're falling, some of them are going against Trump. Yeah, Candace Owens, a few of them. And that's about it. Candace Owens, Dave Smith, these are libertarian. And some others. But they're with Trump they're with Trump all the way. So the MAGA is fully with Trump. I'm sorry, folks. I'm out. What do you think of this video? Like, if you want, comment. I'm out.